Hello, it's Kylie Coo. Welcome to part 7 of my Journaling by Fives collaboration with Diana from ArtfullYours with Diana, and I'll put a link to her channel above and also in the description box below. If this is the first video that you've watched in this series, then I'll also put a link to part 1, and I hope that you'll go back and look at the various videos that comprise this collaboration. So if you have been watching the others, you'll know that what I intended to do was to make a video on how I was going to do the covers. Once I started to do the covers, my approach changed slightly. I thought I'd be doing a bit of painting and sticking of images. As it turned out, I had sufficient images to do the cover, so I just decided to leave it with just the images. So I didn't think it was going to be much fun for anyone just watching me cutting and gluing basically, so I've not done that. So what I'm going to do today is the flip through, and I feel like I'm doing some grand unveiling, but here we go, here's the cover. So what I've tried to do here is to represent both my country, Scotland, and where Diana's from, Philadelphia. And you'll see here that I've got various images of Scotland and from Philadelphia. And to represent our collaboration, I have our respective flags with our avatars and channel names on it. So there we go. Collaboration between Kylie Coo Studio and ArtfullYours with Diana. And of course, these journals, we each have one. We both started a journal off, did steps 1 to 3 of the Journaling by 5 process, then we mailed the journals to each other, and we've each completed the other journal. So this is a journal that was started by Diana and which I've now finished. So I'm just going to do a flip through of the pages. If you saw my last video where I was doing the free play, there's a little bit of change to some of this, not a huge amount, but I'll try and talk through what I've done differently. So let's get started. So on the inside cover, what I've done here is I just simply stuck on the labels that I got from Diana, the postage labels, sorry, that came with the package, because I wanted that as a nice little reminder too. And I just had some washi tape that has that kind of airmail type markings on it, so I just decided to stick those down with that. I also intend at some point to put some sort of closure on it, and I expect to be using this ribbon which I got, which I think again kind of fits the bill. Now Diana and I have become really good friends through this process, and you know, we chat several times a week through across whatever, using the internet, and yeah, so we've really kicked off a new friendship, which I hope will continue forever. But for that reason, on this blank page here, I wanted to put this little quote, which is, "There is no distance too far between friends, for friendship gives wings to the heart." And it's an anonymous quote, but I just thought that recognised the physical distance that lies between us, but the friendship that's still there. So for those of you who have watched, again, these videos before, you'll know that this book, because Diana was trying to make best use of light when she was doing her stages, the book kind of changes orientation. And what I decided to do here was just to put a little reminder to myself. So it says, "Flip me," which you can do this and then start here, or start at the back. So I'm going to start at the back for no other reason than that's kind of the way that I've been doing it. So here we go. On this page, what I did do off camera was I started to pull some of the colours from these pages onto the blank pages here. So you'll see that throughout the book. I've not completed them in any way, I just wanted to pull a bit of colour over. Also on the pages, I mean, Diana had used these superb colours. Now when I'd added images, I'd noticed, for example, there's a little bit of green around the watermelon here, and there's a little bit of green in amongst this flower. So what I've tried to do, and I've done this on a number of pages, is just to pick up where there are those sort of other colours and bring those through and onto the page. And for example, where Diana has used a stencil, then I've outlined in a number of instances with white, and again here I just started to pull the colour green onto these petals. So, you know, I do like the way that the colours kind of stand out from each other, but also go with each other, I think. So, this one, Have a Good Mood Day. Nice bright colours. On this one, I haven't pulled so much colour over there yet, but I'll possibly go back and do that. So this image here I liked, and I just kind of pulled it out with a gold and a white marker just to kind of create a sun effect. Did a few little markings here. I think this is a sort of journal, you know, I don't know if Diana's intending to go back into hers at all, but I did feel that this is a sort of journal I could come into at any time and just do a bit of doodling or whatever. So whilst it's mainly finished, you know, you never know, I might come back and do some things. I did add a bit of the twinkling H2Os to this butterfly. It is a kind of waxed paper, so I had to work at it to get it to actually take the colour, but eventually it did. And the only thing else that I've done since the free play is I added some white dots around the letters of the word love. This is Girl with the Golden Touch. Not done much more since the free play. Added a little bit of a border. You can see that. I didn't do it all the way around, I just did this one kind of just little bits. Again, pulled some of the colour across here. I do quite like borders on my pages, so I just tried to add those where I felt it was appropriate. This page I found during the free play was, I had to work at this one. I'd stuck down this image and then I had time left and I stuck down this image. That was in part, I don't know, I'm getting lost with parts now, part, doesn't matter. I'd stuck those two images down, and during free play I thought, how do I now start to bring this page together? And I found it actually quite difficult, so I tried to put this kind of cloud effect round. Then I introduced a bit of colour again, because on Diana's, I think it's a piece of kitchen towel, there was this small piece of purple. So although she'd mainly used this kind of green teal colour, I decided to start to introduce that purple colour. So I tried to bring the images together by introducing the white around, but that still wasn't working for me. So I then tried to make the focus this word dream, and then to bring out these rays which came across both the image of the eyes and the image of the flowers. I'll just pull it in a bit closer so you can see the rays. I don't know if it worked or not. I'm certainly happier with it than I was when the two images just seemed to be disconnected. And last night I took a stencil and just added the word dream here. Now again, I just felt that started to pull it all together. So I'd love to know your views. I do like this page again. I pulled the blue across. I have to say at one point I thought, oh no, I don't know if I did the right thing, but I've kind of gotten used to that now and quite like it. So I don't think I've done much more to that. I started to add some more stars as a bit of a border. Just a little bit of markings here. But beyond that, I don't think I've done much more since the free play. So I do like this page, one of my favourites. Excuse me. This one I also found quite a difficult page. I don't know if it was because the image that I'd stuck down with the word relax, whereas it was actually quite a bright, vibrant colour. So again, I've pulled the colours across here. I've gone back and done a bit more doodling in terms of outlining the image. Diana's, again, had this piece of kitchen towel with those colours on it. So again, I just tried to pull some of the green from that just into little bits around here. And I've added a bit of a decorative border and just simply did a bit of doodling around the circles that she already had on there. So again, feel a bit happier that that page has kind of come together now. This one, I did a bit more doodling after the event. A border of sorts around here. I didn't want it to be too stand out, so I kept it quite subtle. Added these to give the impression of sound from that. Put the peace sign on her jeans. And another little bit of doodling. And again, I felt that kind of then brought together the statement, women's work is never done, with the kind of getting the message out and the peace sign. Making a change in the beetroot. I struggle a little bit with this page because, you know, I don't know how the image and the statement go together, but I was given a bit of thought about it to it last night. So I added these arrows on just as a kind of pointer, I guess, literally, to making a change. And yeah, there's some things I'd like to make a change with, so that's maybe just a helpful reminder to me. And this is Funny Girl, the girl with the tartan and the girl with the shoes. And when I was doing this in free play, I kept looking again at this piece of, I don't know if it's baby wipe or kitchen towel that Diane had stuck down. I love the texture. And for some reason, I started to look at this and think, these look like mountains. So I kind of sketched in some lines to try and give it that mountain effect. And then I had put the statement, I don't know, it came into mind with the shoes and the mountains. And I added, take a walk on the wild side. I don't know, I just thought that went. Since the free play, I've added in this border. So I think it stands out, the kind of black and white just pops against the red. So again, another of my favourite pages. Then when we get to this point, we're kind of halfway through, and depending if you're coming from this side in or this side in, I then have flip me, so to turn, and of course if you've come the other way, you would have flip me as well. So we flipped and we now go this way. So I brought, again, a lot of the colour across here. This was an image, it was just mountains and sun, and some of the colours transferred, but I actually quite liked that because the image was kind of a bit bland in the sense of it was just fading into the background. So what I've done with this is I've put a kind of faux border just around the image itself. I did some more dots around the statement, treasure the moment, and the only other thing I added was the sort of Zen sign and just simply wrote Zen in there. So yeah, this is just a kind of reminder to treasure each and every moment and to kind of be in the moment, so I do like that. This was my organic page, magazine image. I don't think I've done much more to that other than bringing the colour and a little bit of doodling. So I might actually at some point start to do some more doodling on these pages, but I don't want to lose the basic of what's here. So I think that was about all with that page. This was Self. I liked this image, the stencil that Diana had used of the tree, and I'd stuck this image and statement self. The only other thing I've added here is this Latin quote, and I've done kind of full version of the quote. I don't speak Latin, so my pronunciation is probably wrong, but it's dubito ergo cogito ergo sum. I doubt, therefore I think, therefore I am, by Descartes. It's often just shortened to I think, therefore I am, but this was the whole thing about, you know, the very fact that you doubt actually leads you to conclude that you're thinking, therefore you are. So, yeah. My little bit of academia brought in there. I do like this page. I like the pinks and the blues. Love the texture again from the baby wipe that Diana had stuck down. I love this kind of tree. So, another favourite page of mine. And this one was Regenerate. I tried to bring in some green from around the rose. I think the only other thing that I've done off camera other than this is just a little bit of outlining, just so that this stands out a bit more. During the free play I had added the dots in red just to bring out the colour of the rose. So tiny bits of red and bits of green just to add that in. And another favourite page of mine, Diana had stuck down this image, which thanks to Ash, who pointed out it was a pickle, because I hadn't understood why this, what I thought was a cucumber, was saying I am not a cuke, but it's a pickle, so that's why he / she is saying I am not a cuke. I'd added the pick-me and bananas. I also started to add some orange just to pick up on the colour in here, and this kind of border again round it. But I added something else, and it was thinking about the pickle and the cucumber, so I just added this little bit here. Don't know if you can see that. In a pickle, question mark, be as cool as a cucumber. So I just wanted to add a little bit of a statement, a bit more fun to that page, which I do love. This one, I've done it all. I didn't add much more to this. A little bit of black around the hearts that I'd added, and a tiny bit of a border. I don't know, I keep looking at this and feeling that it's not done, but we'll see, who knows, I might add something more in time, but it may just sit as it is. Journey, now this is a favourite of mine. I don't know why, but when I first saw this tissue and maybe the kind of initial colours that Diana had down there, this reminded me of a surfboard. Don't know why, just did. And I had this image, and although they've not got surfboards, I kind of pretended in my own mind that they were surfboards, and I just felt that this fitted in. And during the free play process, I added these chevrons just pointing to Spirit of Summer, and I added the word journey, and since then I've just brought some colour over again and just put a little bit of black down the words journey just to make it stand out a bit. So I think in my mind I didn't have this in mind as that kind of physical journey going somewhere. It was more that kind of, I'm a spring person. I love spring, and I love the fact that spring brings about renewal, it's new beginnings and all of that. But then with this page I was thinking about summers, especially summers of youth, where, you know, you would change years at high school from one year to the next, and it felt like a real transition. And even now summer has that kind of special magical feel, that sort of sense of transition, I always think. So yeah, spring is the kind of new beginning, summer is that kind of next stage of transition, and this just reminded me of that kind of journey. So this is one of my very favourite pages. This one, it got a bit kind of colourful here after I added more. I did do a bit more work around the butterfly because I felt that the butterfly, whilst it was a lovely image and I think in a sense it went with what was there, it was getting kind of lost. So I decided just to doodle round it. So with some gold pen, then with some kind of pink, then some dots with white round it. And again, I did a little bit of gold round there. So celebrate your own way. And this one is Set the Tone. I don't think I've done much more since the free play other than to add a bit of a border. I love the colours in this one. And the kind of texture, again, there's some baby wipe. And Diana had put this amazing piece of washi, which is, yeah, it's got a real texture to it. It's lovely. And then to the last page, Love Divine. Again, simply brought the colour over. I added a bit of a border, a bit more outlining, a tiny bit of a border around Love Divine, a bit of doodling, a bit more around the daisy. And that was really that with that page. Again, I like this one. I like those kind of colours and the way that the bird kind of stands out. So, yeah. And then that brings us back to the beginning. And so we flip again. So that's just about the end of it. This has been a thoroughly enjoyable process. I love the journaling by fives process, so much so that I've started my own kind of Take 5 series, which is where you don't have time to sit and go through a whole book. You can do just a page or a double page, and again I'll put a link to that above and below. And yeah, so it's been great. I'm sure Diana and I will work on more collaborations in the future, but this has been so much fun. So I have one more image for Diana from Philadelphia. There's a bit of an art theme to it, but there's a bit of another theme to it as well. So I suspect it's an image that, I don't know, people will either love or hate. I don't know, but I just wanted to incorporate it somehow, but because it includes the art gallery. So, but in good Diana fashion, you've got to flip it, not turn it. So here we go, let's flip, and there we go. I couldn't end without having that image. So that's it, folks. Thanks very much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed this Journaling by Fives collaboration between myself and Diana. And as I say, I hope that we'll do some more in future. So thanks very much for watching. And as always, if you like the video, then please do give it the thumbs up, because I really do appreciate that. It lets me know that you like it, and it lets YouTube know that you like it. And if you've not already subscribed, then, you know, I'd love if you would subscribe too. I'm trying to put new content up at least once a week. At the moment, I'm managing more often than that, which is good. But if I can do once a week, then I'll be quite happy with that. So thanks very much. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.